Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into the scandalous chaos, heart-stopping grief, and electrifying drama that have completely shaken the world of General Hospital. Buckle up, because this is a roller coaster you won't want to miss. Let's get started. Medical turmoil unveiled, the tragedy at General Hospital. General Hospital, a beacon of hope and healing, is now shrouded in controversy following the tragic death of Dex Heller. His passing, which occurred under highly charged and suspicious circumstances, has triggered an avalanche of questions and accusations. Co-Chief of Staff Dr. Portia Robinson is forced to call a crucial meeting in her office, summoning key figures from the medical team involved in Dex's care. At the center of the storm is Elizabeth Baldwin, whose history with high-stakes losses places her under intense scrutiny. As whispers circulate about her involvement in past failures, most notably the eerily similar case of Sam McCall, Elizabeth's confidence is visibly shaken. Standing alongside her is Dr. Isaiah Gannon, a new hire whose role in Dex's surgery has yet to be fully understood. Portia's laser-focused demeanor suggests she's determined to uncover not just errors in judgment but potentially sinister forces at work. How could such a high-risk patient have been left so vulnerable? Why wasn't a guard posted at Dex's door, especially considering the whispers of a targeted silencing? The hospital's reputation hangs precariously in the balance, and the forthcoming toxicology report might unravel more than just the cause of death. The stakes have never been higher, with careers, ethics, and perhaps even lives on the line. Jocelyn's heartbreak on Robin's Bridge, a moment of reckoning. The sun sets in muted tones over Robin's Bridge, but for Jocelyn Jacks, the world feels eternally dark. Tears streaming down her face, she meets Jason Morgan in this iconic location, a place heavy with history and reflection. Having just witnessed the death of Dex Heller, Jocelyn is a storm of raw emotions, anger, guilt, and an unbearable sense of loss. She recounts every harrowing second of the failed resuscitation, her voice trembling as she describes how Elizabeth and Isaiah worked tirelessly but ultimately failed to save Dex. Jason listens intently, his own grief over Sam McCall's death etched into his face like a permanent shadow. "I don't know how to move on," Jocelyn confesses, her voice breaking. "How can I forgive myself when I couldn't do anything to save him?" Jason, ever the stoic protector, offers words of comfort drawn from his own battles with loss, but even he seems at a loss for how to ease Jocelyn's pain. The tragedy is compounded by Carly Spencer's glaring absence. Instead of being there for her grieving daughter, Carly remains locked in her ongoing battle over Wiley and Amelia. This emotional neglect only deepens Jocelyn's sense of isolation, leaving Jason to shoulder the burden of guiding her through her grief. As the two stand on Robin's Bridge, the weight of their shared sorrow is almost palpable. Will this shared moment of vulnerability bring them closer together, or will it leave Jocelyn more fractured than before? Desperation at Windmere, Lulu's breaking point. On the windswept grounds of Windmere Castle, Lulu Spencer is a mother on the edge. Driven by a desperate need to find her daughter Charlotte Cassadine, Lulu sneaks into the foreboding estate under the cover of darkness. The castle, with its labyrinthine corridors and eerie stillness, feels like a living entity, almost as if it's working against her. As she searches the dimly lit rooms, Lulu stumbles upon a small box tucked away in a corner. Inside are Charlotte's keepsakes, a ribbon from her hair, a crayon drawing, a note in her childish handwriting. For a fleeting moment, Lulu's breath catches in her throat, a bittersweet blend of relief and heartbreak washing over her. Her search is interrupted by the arrival of Dante Falconeri and another police officer, responding to reports of a break-in. Lulu freezes, her mind racing with explanations, but Dante's expression softens when he sees the desperation in her eyes. "I get it, Lulu," he says quietly. "You're scared for Charlotte. So am I." His unexpected empathy catches her off guard, and the tension between them softens into something almost tender. Dante even opens up about his own grief, sharing how the loss of Sam McCall has left him struggling to find meaning. As Lulu voices her deepest fear, "What if I never see her again?" The moment brims with raw emotion. Meanwhile, unknown to Lulu, Damian Spinelli and Anna Devane are following a promising lead that could change everything. But will their efforts come too late for Lulu's fragile hope to survive? Gatehouse clash, Nina and Carly face off. The scene at the Quartermaine Gatehouse is nothing short of a battleground. After the explosive nanny cam video shattered the family's Christmas celebrations, Nina Reeves rushes to the gatehouse with Willow Corinthos in tow, desperate to shield Wiley and Amelia from the fallout. Carly Spencer arrives moments later, her fiery determination to protect her family fueling a dramatic confrontation with Nina. The air is thick with tension as the two women go head-to-head, each fighting for control over the children's future. Willow, however, refuses to be sidelined. Standing tall despite the emotional chaos swirling around her, she declares with unwavering conviction, "What happens next isn't up to you, Carly." The power in her voice silences the room, momentarily shifting the dynamic. Nina's protective instincts kick into high gear as she tries to usher Wiley and Amelia out of earshot, but Carly's unrelenting presence threatens to derail her efforts. The clash between these two formidable women is as much about their personal grievances as it is about the children, and the lines between right and wrong blur with every heated exchange. Can either of them truly claim to have the children's best interests at heart, or is this fight more about settling old scores? Drew's bold gambit, the art of provocation. Back at the Quartermaine mansion, Drew Quartermaine is playing a dangerous game. The atmosphere is charged as he locks horns with Michael Corinthos, using every word as a weapon to cut deep. With a smirk that borders on cruel, Drew needles Michael about Willow's feelings for him, insinuating that their connection was more genuine than Michael wants to admit. "Would she ever cheat on you if it wasn't real?" Drew asks, his voice dripping with calculated malice. The question is a dagger to Michael's heart, forcing him to confront insecurities he's tried to bury. Drew doesn't stop there. Stepping closer, his provocations become more pointed, his body language designed to intimidate. The unspoken tension of a possible physical altercation hangs in the air, thick and suffocating. Drew's audacity is matched only by his recklessness, as he seems to be daring Michael to throw the first punch. But lurking in the shadows of the mansion's ornate halls is the specter of Jason Morgan. If Jason were to arrive, Drew's bravado could come to a brutal end. The confrontation is more than just a personal spat, it's a microcosm of the larger struggles tearing the Quartermaine family apart. Drew's outsider status, his resentment of the family's elitism, and his yearning for acceptance all come to the forefront, painting a complex picture of a man fighting to carve out his place in a world that refuses to welcome him. Tracy's ultimatum, ruthless and unyielding. The night culminates in a dramatic showdown at the Quartermaine mansion, where Tracy Quartermaine unleashes her wrath with devastating precision. Standing beside her son Ned, Tracy levels an icy gaze at Drew and delivers the ultimate blow, "You're not one of us." Her words, laced with venom and finality, are a stark reminder of the Quartermaine family's cutthroat dynamics. Tracy's disdain for Drew's attempts to integrate into the family is palpable, her tone dripping with the superiority that has long defined the Quartermaine legacy. As Drew stands his ground, the power dynamics of the family come into sharp focus. Tracy's calculated cruelty isn't just about rejecting Drew, it's about sending a message to anyone who dares to challenge her authority. Yet, beneath her ruthless exterior lies a deep-seated fear of losing control, a vulnerability she would never admit to. The confrontation is as much about power as it is about identity, with Drew's defiance serving as a stark contrast to Tracy's unyielding determination to maintain the status quo. Will Drew crumble under the weight of Tracy's disdain, or will he rise to become a force the Quartermaines can no longer ignore? Next, we're breaking down the fallout of Drew and Willow's shocking affair on General Hospital and why Carly might just burn down the Quartermaine mansion. This isn't just gossip, it's emotional warfare, family drama, and betrayal of epic proportions. Let's dive in. Christmas chaos, the affair that lit the fuse. What should have been a joyful holiday gathering at the Quartermaine mansion turned into one of the most disastrous Christmas parties in General Hospital history. Picture this, the family, gathered in their finest attire, exchanging presents and smiles, when suddenly Michael's secret video footage of Drew and Willow's affair plays for everyone to see. The room fell silent, then erupted in chaos. The betrayal was palpable. Drew, a trusted family member and partner, and Willow, Michael's wife and mother of his children, had shattered every notion of loyalty and trust. For Carly, the sight of her son's heartbreak was the final straw. Michael's devastation cut her to the core, and her maternal instincts morphed into something primal, a fury so intense it threatened to consume everyone in its path. But this wasn't just about Drew and Willow's actions. The timing, the public exposure, and the emotional fallout combined to create a perfect storm. Carly, always the lioness protecting her pride, immediately took control. Her wrath wasn't just anger, it was an inferno of betrayal, disappointment, and a need to protect her son at all costs. Carly versus Drew, a family torn apart. As the party unraveled, Carly turned her ire toward Drew. Once a man she respected and trusted, Drew became the focal point of her rage. For Carly, Drew's betrayal wasn't just about the affair, it was a violation of the family code. How could he, someone she once considered an ally, hurt Michael so deeply? Laura Wright, who plays Carly, captured this emotional turmoil perfectly during her appearance on Daily Drama. When asked if Carly might physically lash out at Drew, Wright's response was both playful and ominous: "It's Carly. How do you think?" She hinted at the intensity of her character's emotions, suggesting that Carly's fury could escalate in unexpected ways. The possibility of Carly confronting Drew physically or verbally is almost inevitable. But what's even more compelling is the emotional fallout. Drew isn't just facing Carly's wrath, he's also dealing with the consequences of his choices within the Quartermaine family, a legacy built on power and loyalty. Carly's reaction could shatter not just her relationship with Drew, but the fragile balance of the entire family. The wrath of a mother, Michael at the center. At the heart of Carly's rage is Michael, her firstborn and the center of her world. For Carly, Michael isn't just another son, he's the foundation of her identity as a mother. "This is Michael, this is her baby," Laura Wright explained. "I mean, she loves all of her other kids, but Michael is the one that started it all." This unique bond makes the betrayal feel personal. Carly's reaction isn't just about defending her son, it's about asserting her role as the matriarch of her family. She's not just angry at Drew and Willow, she's furious at the disruption they've caused in her carefully constructed world. Michael's heartbreak adds another layer to the drama. His relationship with Willow was already strained, but the public exposure of her affair with Drew amplifies his pain. Carly's instinct to shield him from further harm drives her actions, but it also risks alienating her from the rest of the family. Her need to control the narrative might push her to extremes, but for Carly, the ends always justify the means. The Gatehouse Showdown, Carly versus Willow and Nina. As if the Christmas party wasn't dramatic enough, Carly's confrontation with Willow and Nina at the Quartermaine Gatehouse added fuel to the fire. After the video's reveal, Willow attempted to flee the mansion with Wiley and Amelia in tow, desperate to escape the fallout. But Carly, determined to maintain control, caught up with her before she could leave. The confrontation was intense. Willow, usually soft-spoken and reserved, stood her ground, refusing to let Carly dictate her next move. "What happens next isn't up to you," Willow declared, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. It was a moment of defiance that surprised everyone, including Carly. Nina's involvement only complicated matters further. As Willow's mother and Wiley's grandmother, Nina's protective instincts clashed with Carly's need for control. The resulting argument was a masterclass in emotional warfare, with both women fighting for what they believed was best for the children. But beneath the surface, the confrontation was about more than just Wiley and Amelia, it was about power, legacy, and unresolved grudges. The tension between Carly and Nina has been simmering for years, and this latest clash reignited their long-standing feud. For Carly, Nina represents everything she despises: manipulation, betrayal, and a threat to her family. For Nina, Carly is the embodiment of control and judgment, a woman who refuses to see anyone else's perspective. Their rivalry is as much about personality as it is about circumstance, and this confrontation was the perfect storm of their conflicting values. Scorched earth, will Carly burn it all down? Laura Wright's comment about Carly lighting the house on fire wasn't just a metaphor, it was a glimpse into her character's scorched earth personality. Carly's reaction to betrayal has always been extreme, but this time, the stakes feel even higher. With Michael's heartbreak, Drew's betrayal, and Willow's defiance, Carly is poised to unleash her fury in ways that could have lasting consequences. The Quartermaine mansion, a symbol of wealth, power, and legacy, becomes the perfect backdrop for Carly's wrath. Will she literally burn it down? Probably not. But her actions could metaphorically destroy the family's fragile unity. Carly's tendency to act first and think later makes her a wildcard in this unfolding drama. Steve Burton, who plays Jason Morgan, shared an interesting perspective during Daily Drama. He admitted he didn't agree with Jason's decision to keep Carly in the dark about why he punched Drew. For Carly, the lack of honesty from Jason adds another layer of betrayal. How she reacts to this revelation could further complicate her relationships with the people closest to her. What's next for Carly? As the dust settles, the future of Carly's relationships hangs in the balance. Michael's impending departure, along with his portrayer's exit from the show, adds a sense of finality to this chapter of Carly's story. Will she be able to repair her bond with Michael before he leaves, or will the affair's fallout leave permanent scars? For Drew, the path forward is equally uncertain. His relationship with Carly may never recover, and his place within the Quartermaine family is in jeopardy. Willow, too, faces an uphill battle in regaining trust, not just from Michael, but from everyone impacted by her actions. And then there's Nina. Her role in this drama is far from over. As she navigates her complicated relationship with Willow and her rivalry with Carly, Nina's actions will have ripple effects throughout Port Charles. So, what do you think? Will Carly truly light the house on fire, or is there still hope for reconciliation? In a move that sent shockwaves through the GH fandom, the show has opted to write out another key character just weeks after the exit of Kelly Monaco and the shocking on-screen murder of Sam McCall. This time, it's Evan Hofer's Dex Heller who met an untimely demise. Debuting in 2022, Dex quickly became a fan favorite as a mob enforcer caught between loyalty to Sonny Corinthos and a burgeoning romance with Jocelyn Jacks. Dex's storyline took an unexpected turn when he left the mob world behind to join the police force. However, the transition was short-lived. After surviving surgery from a near-fatal stabbing, Dex suddenly succumbed to his injuries on Friday, December 13th. His death, much like Sam's, has left viewers reeling and speculating about the show's direction. Why is GH opting to kill off so many leads in such quick succession? Is there a larger storyline in the works, or are we seeing the groundwork laid for a complete cast overhaul? Evan Hofer's departure marks a significant loss for fans who had grown attached to the character's complex morality and charm. While the decision to write out Dex is controversial, it has undeniably added another layer of drama to the ongoing Port Charles narrative. Joyce Guy exits as Phyllis Caulfield moves on. Joyce Guy, who brought warmth and depth to the character of Phyllis Caulfield, has quietly exited General Hospital. Phyllis, who first appeared in 2020, was a pivotal figure in Nina Reeves' storyline, acting as both a confidant and a connection to Nixon Falls. In recent years, she had transitioned to managing Charlie's Pub, where her no-nonsense demeanor and kind-hearted wisdom made her a fan favorite. However, in a recent episode, it was revealed that Phyllis has decided to leave Port Charles and return to Nixon Falls. While her departure wasn't given much fanfare, her presence will be missed, particularly by viewers who appreciated her ability to bring balance to the show's more chaotic storylines. Phyllis's exit raises questions about whether GH is moving away from the Nixon Falls chapter entirely, or if this is a temporary departure that leaves the door open for a future return. Gina Vittori, a new face with a short stay. If you caught the dramatic discovery of Dex Heller's body in the park, you might have recognized the sharp and commanding presence of Gina Vittori as Police Officer Jackson. While her appearance was brief, Vittori left an impression as the first responder who found Dex after his fatal stabbing. Jackson's involvement in the storyline adds a touch of realism to the crime-heavy drama unfolding in Port Charles, but her role seems to be limited to that of a day player for now. Could this one-off appearance pave the way for a recurring role in the future? Fans will have to wait and see if Officer Jackson becomes a more permanent fixture in the GH universe. What's next for General Hospital? The recent departures of Kelly Monaco, Evan Hofer, and Joyce Guy have sparked speculation about the show's long-term plans. Are we witnessing the start of a major casting overhaul, or are these exits simply a coincidence? With each character's departure leaving ripple effects across multiple storylines, the show seems poised for a dramatic shakeup that could redefine the dynamics in Port Charles. While the losses are significant, GH is no stranger to surprise returns. Fans are already buzzing about the possibility of seeing beloved stars from the past re-enter the fray. Could this be the perfect time to reintroduce a classic character or bring in fresh faces to breathe new life into the show? The unpredictable nature of so.